this computer. Okay. So I'm showing you guys how to create 30 days of high value content by repurposing blog and video content. So one thing that I used to do and used to teach is I used to have be super focused on just social media content. Like I'm really good at just creating different ideas, but now I understand that starting with your anchor content or your long form content, like blogs and video, is good for a couple of reasons. One, it's SEO optimized. When you are putting content on social media, it lives for a brief moment. TikTok, Instagram, when you post something on Instagram, your audience will like it, and it'll just slide by as they keep going through their content. And content has an even shorter lifespan on Twitter. So I've learned to focus on blog content and even video content like on YouTube or your long form videos that you put on social media. And now I'm starting with the blog and video content and just pulling stuff out of that. So I'm not spinning my wheels trying to figure out what to talk about. When I've spent hours creating and writing a blog, why not just pull ideas from that? And that's the basis of this whole webinar, is just showing you guys how to work backwards and not just twiddle your thumbs thinking about, okay, what to post. And if you guys have any questions, I have a chat open, I'll see it. So first, I'm just gonna kind of show you. So what I call anchor content is the long form content, meaning blogs or YouTubes. And for this specific content calendar, I'm just going to briefly show you what those anchor pieces are for me. So for blog content, I wrote 8 skills every social media manager needs to be. And the second blog post is avoiding burnout as a social media manager. And the third blog post is 5 ways social media enhances the customer journey. Now I've only published one of these. So if y'all are interested, it's up on my blog. The other 2 are still in the vault. And YouTube video content, the 6-step roadmap to becoming a social media manager in 2021, 6 ways to create content your clients will love. That video is out. And 5 systems you need in your social media manager business. That video is also out on YouTube. And because I've put so much information into these 6 anchor content pieces, it wouldn't make any sense for me to go try to think of new ideas outside of this. So I'm just taking information that I've already put in there and creating my full 30-day content calendar. And it's going to be cross-platform, Instagram, of course, Twitter, and Facebook and LinkedIn. In the process, you always start with what your goal is. And for this content calendar, this is for when I launch my group coaching program. All of this anchor content is meant to lead somebody to enroll in my group coaching program, which is to train social media managers to streamline their process. And next, you create your anchor content, you brainstorm and create your anchor content. And then 3, you build your content calendar around it. So here is my brainstorming session. And the way this works, this is the spreadsheet. I put the social media ideas over here in this column. The format goes in this column. And the types of formats, you got long form, you got carousel image, a long form blog post, long form video post for YouTube, a live stream video, a short form video like a reel, a static image, which is when you just post one image to Instagram, a Twitter thread, and an IG story series. So those are the different formats of content, and it's important for me to specify that. And next, content pillars. Somebody say something. Can y'all mute yourselves right quick? Okay. what else was I saying? Okay, content pillars. Content pillars are for me, and it lets me know what areas are my contents falling in. So for me and my brand, my content pillars are social media management, education, personal branding, entrepreneurship, mindset, lifestyle, and content creation. And that's not anything I would publicize to my audience like, hey, this is falling under my entrepreneurship content pillar. No, they'll just see it when, as I get more consistent, they'll see that I'm talking about these different things. Content pillars are internal for you and whatever people are helping you with your content. Now, content buckets are for your audience. Content buckets fall under 4 categories: inspiration, motivation, education, and entertainment. And what that is, it's just a type of post and how your audience will resonate with it. Like, will they view this as inspiring? Will they be motivated by this? Will this educate them? Or is this just meant to entertain them? And then the last column are KPIs, which are key performance indicators. Depending on what the post is and what the goal behind the post is, you're going to look at certain types of, you're going to look at specific KPIs to let you know how well that post performed. So if this post is meant to grow brand awareness, then I'm going to look at reach, because my brand is getting put in front of more faces. If this is meant to interact with your audience and get them to engage more, you're going to track engagement. If this is meant to convert, you're going to track conversions, like link clicks or sales, directly coming from your social channels. So this is how I organize this tab. And how I broke this down, I broke it down on a week-by-week basis, where every week I'm focusing on one blog and one YouTube post. And let me know if y'all are following along. So with this, this gray area is 1 week, the white area is week 2, got a chat, I'm following, okay. And this is week 3, and this is week 4. And okay, so the 2 posts that I'll be promoting for week 1. So week 1, my goal was just to reintroduce myself to my followers, starting right here. Reintroduce yourself to your followers. Oh shoot, I need that. Reintroduce yourself to your followers is going to be okay, static image, falling under entrepreneurship, motivation, and I'm tracking engagement. And a little bit of backstory, I created a quiz called the Social Media Fairy Style Quiz, and you take it and you fall into 3 categories. Social media, a startup fairy, a next level fairy, and a blueprint fairy. And what that means is you're either a beginner, a novice, or an expert. And the first week, I'm pandering. I'm catering to the beginners. So all of the content that falls under week 1 is meant to help the people that are in the beginning phases. And so what I did was, day 1 would be Sunday, me reintroducing myself. That would be a lifestyle type of post. Monday, this is me introducing this social media fairy archetype. And then I introduce the benefits of hiring a social media manager through a live stream. And then I introduce questions social media managers should ask themselves. And that's me introducing my blog post. And then, you know what? It'll be easier if I just showed you this way. So this is a monthly content calendar from a bird's eye view. And so week 1, these are the Twitter threads that I'm going to be making. These are Instagram reels. This is feed post content. This is live stream content. And these are the blogs and YouTubes that are going to be going out for this week. And so for week 1, like I said, the focus would be on the blog post, 8 skills every successful social media manager need, and a 6-step roadmap to becoming a social media manager in 2021. And so all of this content stems from this, and it's linking. I'm going to be linking back. Hey, go check out this blog post to learn more. or hey, go check out this YouTube video to learn how you can become a social media manager. Hey, Crystal. I'll quickly start back over. So here, I'm talking about taking your anchor content, meaning your long form post, blog post, YouTube content, and reverse engineering that by pulling out micro pieces of content from your blog posts and your YouTubes. And for the purposes of this specific content calendar, I'm focusing on 3 blogs and 3 YouTubes. And each week I'm introducing 1 blog post and 1 YouTube video. Okay. Back to here, week 1, the focus is the blog post, 8 skills every successful social media manager need, and a 6-step roadmap to become a social media manager in 2021. That is a YouTube video. And this is Sunday. I'm just reintroducing myself to my followers. That's more so a lifestyle post. And Monday, I'm introducing the startup fairy archetype, which are the beginners. And I'm introducing that through an Instagram feed post. Tuesday, going live to talk about the benefits of hiring a social media manager. And the reason I chose that topic to talk about, because at the end of it, I can talk about, okay, these are the benefits of hiring a social media manager. Now, these are the things that you need to be able to do if you want to be a social media manager. Now, I've introduced the entrepreneurs to why they should hire a social media manager and letting them know how valuable a social media manager is. Now, people who want to be a social media manager, they're watching this like, oh, there's an open market for people needing social media managers. What do I need to do to become one? Hey, I've got you covered. I've got a blog post listing out 8 very important skills that you need. And I have a video explaining 6 things that you can do to get started on becoming a social media manager. So that's how I'm linking all of this content back to this blog post and this YouTube video. So that's on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I'm making a post, questions new social media managers should ask themselves. And really what this post is going to be about, I will be sharing like 4 things every social media needs to know. And then I would end it out with, if you want a comprehensive list of skills that are important, go check out my blog post. And then another live stream that Thursday talking about traits that a social media manager need, like they need to be patient, curious, things like that. And then also linking it back to the blog post. And over here on Twitter, repurpose everything into a Twitter thread. So these live streams that are on the list for week 1, whatever the talking points are, just turn it into a Twitter thread. Benefits of hiring a social media manager as a thread, questions new social media managers should ask themselves as a thread, actually introducing the blog post and dropping the link in there, turning that into a Twitter thread, 8 traits of a memorable social media manager, turning that into a thread, and then new release, hey, I have a new video dropping, sharing that on a Friday. And also I've got in here dropping at least 1 reel a week. And for this week, I like the repurpose mindset. Yes, I repurpose everything, okay? Because I've spent so much time creating all this content. I've been sitting on it and it's time to just share it. And so the Instagram reel, I will be sharing 4 skills that a social media manager needs to have. And they aren't the same skills that I've listed in this blog post. Similar stuff, but different. And I will end that caption out. Hey, you want to learn a full list of important skills every social media manager need? Go to the link in my bio and check out my latest blog. So every single thing that's going out that week is timed back to this blog post or this YouTube video. Same thing for week 2. Week 2, I'm focusing on the blueprint fairy, which novice. They're not beginners, but they're not quite experts yet. And they're just struggling to get to the next level. And so with this, the blog post I'm focusing on is how to avoid burnout as a social media manager and 6 ways to create content that your clients will love. And again, just like week 1, everything that I'm doing, the Instagram reel boundaries to enforce as a social media manager, that ties back to avoiding burnout, that blog post. Don't overwork yourself as a social media manager. That also ties back to avoiding burnout. Hit or miss, create content that your clients will love. That ties back to this YouTube video that I'll be sharing. And also the live streams. What's your social media manager journey? Here's mine. I'll be talking about what was my journey to becoming a social media manager, and how I got there, and how I learned to not work myself to death. And that'll tie into the avoiding burnout as a social media manager blog post. And then creating content your clients will love. Just me walking my audience through what a content audit is. That'll tie back into this YouTube video. So just like week 1, everything is repurposed and meant to point back to what I call my anchor content, which is blog, and YouTube is SEO optimized. So if someone goes to Google looking for these things, if someone goes to YouTube looking for these things, my content, if it's using the right keywords, will pull up and be relevant in that specific search. So that's why I'm focusing on blogs and YouTube, because it lives longer. It lives way longer. I can get on YouTube today and search how to do butterfly locks, and a video from 2 years ago, if it's relevant, it will pull up on my timeline and I can click on it, watch it, fall in love with their content, and binge more videos. And now I'm subscribed and loyal to that YouTube channel. So that's the shift in my social media content. Still putting it out, but focusing it on stuff that is more long-term, which is blog, YouTube, Pinterest. And with all of this, every single thing that's on here can literally be turned into a pin for Pinterest. But I didn't want to put that in here because it's like a whole nother ball game. But I do want to show y'all how I turn a blog post into Pinterest pins. Share drives. Are y'all following? Okay. Yes, I love it so far. Thank you. Content. This is how I organize my Google Drive also. So Pinterest. Oh, I guess it's not in there yet. So when I write a blog, this is what I needed. Okay. So when I write a blog, this is what I do. I have not been writing consistently. I will say that. I'm just going to go to the latest blog that I actually have published. So when I write a blog post, I have this template that I created. Where I add in the social media, I add in the blog copy, and I also add in the social media captions that I'm going to use. And I also add in the Pinterest titles that I'm going to be using as well. So when it's time for me to share something or post something, I don't have to sit there thinking of what to say. Sorry. I don't have to sit there thinking, what do I need to say? I've already thought through that when I wrote this blog post out. So y'all bear with me, I'm still scrolling down. Okay. This is a long blog. Y'all excuse me. I'm still scrolling. Okay. I wrote out my Pinterest titles already. and the descriptions. I've already written it out, and I've actually already designed these pins. I just thought I'd put them in my Google Drive. I've already designed these pins, so whenever I just need to go ahead and actually load them up to Pinterest. But I've already wrote out the different titles. So I have, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 different Pinterest titles for each blog post. And I just have the exact same description, the exact same keywords for each Pinterest pin. And same with Twitter. I've already wrote out like 5 different ways for me to tweet this Pinterest out using those different Pinterest titles. So it looks different whenever somebody sees it on my Twitter feed, even though it's the exact same blog. I'm just touching on different things. And I can also put social media copy in here too. So if I'm posting something to Instagram, I can put it in here. But this is how I turn my blog content into Pinterest pins and tweets. So that's another way to just really get the most out of what I call that anchor content. And I can do the exact same thing with my YouTube videos. I can go and write out Pinterest pins that call out different pain points, different talking points that they can hear inside the video, and then repurpose that into different tweets. So I have 5 different ways for me to tweet about this same video, and 5 different ways to pin about this video. And the power of Pinterest, you can pin the same stuff over and over. So if I'm putting out one YouTube, one blog each month, or one YouTube video a week and one blog a month, do you post tidbits of your blog content on Twitter to attract people to your blog site? I do not do it right now, but yes, do that. That's essentially what this is. Tidbits. You can do screenshots if it's a list style blog post. So 8 skills every social media manager need. Maybe I can share one of the skills as a thread and end it out with, I shared more skills that you need. Check this out. So yes, use Twitter, use threads, share bite-sized pieces of the content and get them to go back. I really love how the Shade Room, when you go to certain posts, they'll give you just enough and you have to go to their website to see the rest of it. So it's called breadcrumbing when you give somebody a piece of something and it doesn't quite satisfy their appetite completely. And so the only way to get what they really wanted, they'll have to visit your website or take whatever call to action you're throwing at them. But yes, this essentially what I did for week 1 and week 2. Week 3 and week 4, exact same thing, except so because I only have 3 different social media fair types, week 1, 2, and 3 of this specific content calendar is dedicated to those 3 different 3 different social media fair styles. And then week 4 is where I introduce my program. And with that, during that week, I'm not dropping any new content as far as blogs and YouTube, and I'm just focusing on selling. So I've spent 3 weeks giving value, leading people to my lead magnet, which is the quiz. And once you've taken the quiz, you'll get a round of emails that'll sell through the email funnel. But as far as social media, I want to spend some time giving out free value before I ask somebody to spend money on me or with me. And so the first 3 weeks of content is just me giving out value. And the last week is me actually announcing and sharing, promoting, and going hard with marketing my group coaching program. And I can just share with you some of the stuff that I have in week 4 that are salesy. That Monday, introduce my group coaching program, which is a 12-week program for social media managers. Tuesday, sharing a case study, and then going live with the client that was in the case study. Day 3, Wednesday, share a post of why I created my coaching program. It's because I see a lot of social media managers struggling and a lot of entrepreneurs struggling to find and keep good social media managers, and I didn't see a platform out there that was educating us and giving us resources and tools and templates and actual guidance, and especially not for Black people. So that's why I created it. And then day 4, introduce the bonuses. And then day 5, kind of like tug on their heartstrings. Imagine if you invested in yourself and dedicated the next 12 weeks to growing, streamlining, and transforming your business. What would life look like? And every day that I'm posting about the program, I'm going live also. And that last day, that Friday, I will be interviewing a student to talk about their experience in the group coaching program. So this would be a really great sample content calendar for coaches or people selling programs or even courses. So this is the monthly view. And this is my favorite part, the daily view. All of the content is in here. I would just attach a date to it. So if I'm sharing all of this content in May, I would just add up the dates. The format is right here. I can plug in the caption, hashtags, images. I don't use this for images. I use Planoly for my images. I can put links in here and I can mark off whether or not it's scheduled. So if I'm scheduling content bi-weekly, I'll make sure that, hey, week 1 and week 2, I need to schedule all of this during this content scheduling session. And as it's scheduled out, I just go in and mark things off. And then the next 2 weeks go in, or the next week go in and schedule the next 2 weeks of content. But essentially, that's how I plan for a month of content using blog and YouTube content, repurposing it out into Pinterest and tweets, and organizing all of this stuff out. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and let you guys ask any questions. And y'all can come off mute if you have a question. I'm also going to stop recording.